Prepper Cat here. Hey, sorry it's been a while. 2019 was a horrible year for me, but I'm back and stronger than ever. Now, please don't skip the intro and let me explain this long list of 240 things to hoard. It won't take long, I promise. I have scoured the internet, with watched days worth of YouTube videos, read multiple articles, came up with some sort of it, or some of it myself, rather. And I even went to my local store and took pictures. And when I got home, I looked at and thought about each individual product carefully. Now, I am by no means telling you that you have to have everything on this list, but I want to give you ideas to consider. It is meant for beginners, also those who have been prepping all their lives. I wanted to make a list of things that people forgot about, and I did it so preppers didn't have to scour the internet as much as I did for this information, that is. I tried to make it as easy as I could for you because I want to help people. Also, I'd like to mention I am sorry about the camera angle. I was supposed to take this outside, but it's gotten too late. It's gonna get too dark out, and so that's that. Oh, you can just listen to this. I didn't want it to be a black screen, because that would have been boring more than this. But now, without further ado, let's begin. Again, since this is a beginner's list, food is number one. It's not in any particular order. I just put down the first things I could think of and went from there. So number one, food. Under food, more specifically, pickles and olives. All pickles are really pickles and olives in jars, rather. Let's be more specific, and I'll say why. Uh, Pickles, all they are cucumbers that have been sitting in water. That's been seasoned. That's what gives them unique flavors. As for olives, they're just plants that are picked off their stems and thrown in a jar with water again, and then over time the flavor will just get stronger for sitting. I'm not sure the process behind it, I don't recall, but that is how it goes. The reason why in jars is they're already canned for you, one, and two, they're basically, since that's how they're made and stored, they're pretty much good forever, to my knowledge. All the food items I mentioned, just make sure keep them in a cool, dry place. Every food item, and they should last indefinitely. But if not, we'll go from there. Pasta noodles of all kinds. Number three, pasta noodles of all kinds. Number two was the pickles and olives. Number one was food. But again, three, pasta noodles of all kinds. The reasoning behind this is because you're gonna get bored of just having spaghetti noodles. That's why of the all kinds. So you're gonna want twisted noodles or circular noodles at some point in time just to change it up. Not that you're gonna be eating pasta every day per se, but it'll still give you more options, at least texture-wise. Chocolate. Chocolate. I had chocolate that was 2 years past its purchase date, and it was quite fine. Uh, Number five, spam. Again, the rest of the list here is gonna last you a while. Number six, rice. Number seven, beans. Number eight, deviled ham. Number nine, canned chicken and tuna. Number 10, Armor canned foods, more specifically. The reason why I chose Armor as a brand name is because personally I enjoy their food uh, over most other canned foods. Number 11, canned ham. Number 12, seasonings. Lemon, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, sprinkles, salt, pepper, etc. Number 13, gravy powder. The reason why you want the gravy powder is, again, you add water to it, and you heat it up over a fire or a stove, and you can pour it over your rice or your beans or whatever else you chose to pour it over, and it'll just give that meal a different flavor palette than what it normally has without it. Number 14, vinegar. Now, I am not aware of vinegar's expiration date, but vinegar is used for cleaning, and if you consume, uh, what was it? Apple cider vinegar, that's it. If you consume apple cider vinegar, I know that is meant to also clean out your insides as well, for lack of better words. Um, doesn't mean it makes you go a lot, it's just, it, it is said to help your body uh, maintain itself. Number 15, tobacco seeds. Now, you're going to have seeds at first, but once you plant them and grow them, then you can trade the leaves themselves after you've dried them and gone through the process. And obviously, if you're growing them, you can use them yourself, if that's what you're into. Number 16, electrolyte pills. There won't be a lot of food that you find outside of what you've stored that has electrolytes. So if you do happen to run out and it's still an SHTF event after however many months you have of food, or weeks or days, then having electrolyte pills just might be for you. Number 17, camp stoves. Number 18, mess kits. For those of you who don't know, a mess kit is something that has silverware in it, sometimes steel or sometimes a durable plastic, and also has different types of pans or cups inside of it, allowing you to cook your food over a stove or fire. Number 19, bouillon cubes. Again, flavor. Number 20, meat and wheat grinders. The purpose of meat grinders, obviously, is if you have your own animals that you're raising, own head of cattle or so forth, you will be able to make your own ground beef and your own steaks and so forth. And wheat grinders. Now that's for obviously wheat. But if you're growing wheat, then you'll be able to grind it down easier than without it, therefore making it faster and easier for you to make bread. Number 21, canning jars, lids, and seals. Number 22, baking soda. Baking soda has a bazillion uses and one, because you can use it, if you add a little bit of water to it, you can make it a cream. With that cream, you can cover cuts, gashes, bee stings, and other things like that. You can also use it as a cleaning agent. Say you have used a certain pan for cooking over fire that used to be stainless steel, but now it's some sort of black color. With this black color, you'll be able to easily get it off with a sponge and baking soda. Now, this information has been passed down to me not only through videos from watching, but passed down to me through my family. My family has taught me, my grandma taught my mom, and my mom taught me, use baking soda as toothpaste. If you don't have toothpaste, baking soda is a perfect alternative. Also, if you have yellow teeth, you start washing your teeth with baking soda, and that'll whiten them right up after a while. One of the fastest things you can use, to my knowledge. Can openers is number 23. 24, flavored gum. 25, coffee filters. You can use these coffee filters for filtering river or stream or lake water. Now, it won't be perfect, obviously. It is meant for coffee, but it will get a lot of the dirt out, and it'll make it palatable. Now, obviously, it won't get bacteria and so forth, such things like that. But obviously, it's a coffee filter, so you can use it as it's meant to be used as well. Number 26, make honey. You can't make it yourself, per se. You have to buy a hive and then purchase rather, a bee queen. And obviously, you could only purchase these things before SHTF. And this list is marketed towards homesteads or compounds. So hence the make honey thing. Excuse me. Within, there's a beehive that you can purchase online now. One that you can purchase now, and you can make close to 500 gallons, I believe it was, or not 500, was it 500? 500 gallons or 500 pounds, I don't recall, each year, um, close to that with just one of their beehives, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so there you go. There's plenty for you and your family and your group, but also, okay, sorry about that little notification. What was I saying? Apologies. Hell. Well, I lost track. Anyways, I'm sure you get the idea. Just make honey. Get yourself some figure that stuff out. Oh, plenty for your group and plenty for trading with wandering traders and so forth. Heirloom seeds. That's number 27. Heirloom seeds. Sorry, I want to keep track of this for you guys. Uh, if you don't know, heirloom is you get your heirloom seeds, you plant them, then you harvest them, whether they're flowers or food or otherwise. And once you harvest them, you can then take the seeds from the plant that you harvested and then replant the seeds, and they'll keep growing generation after generation. Unlike most seeds on the market that you find in Walmart and other big, big market stores, it happens to be the opposite of heirloom. You have to keep buying them year after year, and it's more for the people who enjoy gardening or make them think they're self-sufficient when they're really not. Number 28, sugar. Um, Number 29, cast iron cookware. The reason for cast iron cookware, sorry about the camera angle, shake. Where the fuck was I? I'm thirsty. I'm getting a drink here in a minute. Cast iron cookware. Once you've cooked with cast iron cookware long enough, one second. Uh, you cook food in it enough and for long enough. The food that you cook in it, excuse me, sorry. Food that you cook in it, I apologize. It's getting late. Will release the grease from the foods and will fill the pores of the iron. Once filled, it'll act as its own, what you call it, oil, I guess. Non-stick resistance. So when you cook with it later, the food won't stick as much to it. I do apologize for my brain not functioning, let's say. Number 30, dishes. Again, compound or homestead. Dishes, plates, bowls, obviously. Number 31. Here we go to water. Number 32. Water purification tablets. Number 33. Water bottles and filters. One of the water filters I'm thinking of is the Berkey filtration system. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and Google it if you're interested in large amounts of waters being able to be filtered and filtered well. Excuse me, goodness. However, you will have to continuously buy filters for it, so it will only last so long. You can't wash the filter and then put the same filter back in it, as far as I know. But I know someone in my family has one, and it's quite nice, and the water is delightful to drink. It takes out also chlorine, stuff like that. Number 34, water bladders to carry in, say, a backpack, and you'll be able to take a drink. It's like a water bottle, but it's just literally just a bag. Yeah. 35, canteens, slash clean canteen. Again, just another container to boil your water in, as long as it's a single layer. Also, when I said canteens, I also meant alcohol canteens as well. Just keep in mind those as well. Number 36, water flavoring powder, such as Tang, AW Soda, Mountain Explosion, Crush, Welch's, Hawaiian Punch, lemonade, Kool-Aid, Country Time, etc. Just to flavor your water because you're gonna get sick of drinking only purified water. You're gonna want something different. Batteries such as AA, AAA, etc. Battery chargers for the batteries up above previously. Uh, Sorry, I don't think I said 37 batteries, 38 battery chargers, 39 flashlights, headlamps, and solar lights. By solar lights, I mean everything under the sun, from stuff that you stick on the side of your house to those little cheap couple dollar lights that you buy at Dollar General. You stick by your sidewalk and they light up at night because there's a solar panel on top of the light. From that to whatever else. Number 40, signaling mirrors. Self explanatory. Number 41. This one's kind of interesting. A diving compass. A compass that's meant to be used underwater. The reason why you'll rather this than a normal compass is they are much better built than a normal compass. They'll take more hits and so forth because it's meant to withstand the pressure of many feet underwater. Number 42. Toilet paper and toilet paper tablets. Toilet paper tablets are more compact, they're easier to store, they're stronger than normal toilet paper because you have to get them wet to expand them. So they are already there stronger. And let's face it, the wet part will make it easier to clean up. Number 43. Rags and towels. Number 44. Paper towels, napkins, paper plates, plastic silverware, and that sort of thing. The reason why the paper plates and the plastic silverware is within the first year, personally, me and my group, I anticipate rather, excuse me, I anticipate that there's going to be a lot of days in the first year that we're going to have to do dishes, but really not have the time because we'll be busy making preparations or following through with plans because SHTF has happened. Some plans can't happen until SHTF happens. Within the first year, those plans will be carried out. So I anticipate we're not really going to have time to do all the dishes and wash them, provided we have things to do so. So getting paper plates, it's easy. Most paper plates will dissolve after it gets rained on enough. So, or if not, throw it in a fire. And same thing with plastic silverware, washing. Napkins, obvious. Paper towels, obvious. Number 45, alcohol. For trade purposes. Unless you like to drink it yourself, then stack up as much as you think you'll need for the apocalypse. Number 46, ferro rods. If you're not sure what that is, if you're new to prepping, ferro rods is a simple rod of magnesium that you strike with steel. And when striked, you get sparks, thus creating fire. Number 47, Bic lighters. Doesn't have to be Bic specifically, but personally I prefer Bic. It seems to work the best. Again, I'm not paid to say that. I'm just being nice. Number 48, matches. Including ones you buy at Walmart, but also you can get those waterproof, weatherproof matches as well, if you chose. Number 49, Fresnel lenses. Start fire with the sun. That's what you can do with them, is the point of that. Fresnel lenses. Most of them that I know of where you can get them is from online purchasing specifically, but also if you have an old tube television, you can get them from that. If you don't know what a tube television is, you are very young. You were born after the year 2000. But tube televisions are one moment. There we go. Tube televisions are very massive and very heavy televisions. It's before they had flat screens. Let's see. Number 50, candles. Not only do candles provide light, but they also provide heat. You won't be able to read with candlelight. Well, personally, I can. My eyes are good enough, but a lot of people can't read with just candlelight, but it'll keep you from bumping into things. Indoors or outdoors if there's no wind. Let's see. Propane. You may not need propane, or you may not want to buy it because it's either too expensive or not worth your money. But I assure you, it certainly can be if you have camp stoves. To use the propane for that, but also if you purchase the smaller cans, the cheaper ones, you can use them for trade as well. Number 52. Speaking of propane, kerosene. If you don't know what kerosene is, it is a liquid that is a fuel, kind of like propane, but meant for number 53, lanterns. It's meant for lanterns and some other things. So, kerosene and kerosene lanterns, or lanterns that use batteries, is what I was mentioning for 53. Or gas, or uh, what's the other one? I don't remember. Anyways, lanterns, get the idea. Number 54, light sticks. Sometimes you need something that just a quick snap, and there you go. Keep a couple in your back pocket if you're out on a mission. Something to that effect. uh, Number 55, clothing of all kinds, winter, summer, gloves, and quality. Make sure the clothes you get are quality. Make sure you get clothes for the summertime. Make sure you get clothes for the wintertime. And even if you never see a day of above 32 degrees, or if you never see a day below 40 degrees, day or night, make sure you still get winter and summer clothing. Because eventually somebody from up north or from south will travel there. Unless you live in an area where there's snow year round and it's below zero, then in which case, forget the summer clothes. Uh, but other than that, people will eventually travel to you. Just see it from that aspect. And when they do, you will either be able to keep them from being angry with you for being alive. I mean, some people might just try to, I don't know, marauders. You might be able to make them happy if you gave them summer clothes in the winter and they went back down where they came from and they could enjoy their new clothing. Gloves, self-explanatory. Ponchos, shoes, shoelaces. Number 56. Swimming masks, gas masks, goggles, balaclavas, snowshoes. If you don't know what a balaclava is, that is again another type of mask, but it's meant for the harsh winters um, of below zero. So I just might be getting one. Uh, anyways, number 57. Clothesline and clothespins with all your new clothes. You're going to want to hang them up to dry after you've washed them by hand, because your washer and dryer aren't going to be running unless you have some serious solar power. Number 58. Ice axe. To chip away at ice in areas where that needs to be done, or to help you climb. Again, you're not going to need this if you're in Arizona. And I wouldn't even recommend that for trade because that's such a specific item. However, it's possible, as far north as I am, I may want to get one if I'm out where there are no roads. I may actually want one in the dead of winter. Let's see, 59, earplugs. Self-explanatory. Number 60, alcohol. Number 61, cigarettes. Alcohol and cigarettes, again, if you smoke, if you drink, keep some, however long you think the apocalypse is going to last you. Or even if you don't, again, trade. But you already know you could trade alcohol and cigarettes. You've heard that from everyone else on the internet. Number 62. Fishing string, hooks, weights, bobbers, poles, traps, and lures. You're going to want to fish. More food. Easier to get, and not everyone's going to be hunting fish because not everyone has a fishing rod and everything they need. Number 63 and number 64. Here we go. Guns and ammo. Self-explanatory. Number 65, body armor. If you if you're gonna have guns, your neighbor's gonna have guns, and if you and your neighbor don't get along, you better have some body armor. Uh, that's gonna help you out a lot. Number 66, band-aids. Number 67, painkillers. They were going to medical. Number 68, fish antibiotics. Now, before I say anything further, yes, you're going to want some antibiotics for your fish because they're going to need it eventually. Now, obviously, I'm joking and messing with you. I am not telling you to eat or consume fish antibiotics in any way. So do not come at me with that. I'm saying you can stock up on it because it is well known that fish antibiotics are the exact same as human antibiotics, except one difference, and that difference is fish antibiotics have a lesser quality. It isn't as good. So instead, if a human were to take it, they would want to take two instead of one. As an example, that's what I've heard. I'm not saying you should do it, and I'm not saying I'm even going to do it. I'm just saying it's an idea. So I cannot be sued for mentioning this on my list. Let's see. Oh, before I continue, fish antibiotics. Some states, as far as I know, are restricting access to them because of what I've stated. People know that there is no real difference between fish and human antibiotics. So they're starting to restrict them because people are becoming wiser to the big pharma companies. So some states, countries, whatever, may not allow you to purchase them. They may require a vet. If you are a vet, then I guess we're all shit out of luck. Number 69, Tums. If you don't know what that is, it's just if you get a stomach ache, you take something called a Tums. And in a little bit, you feel better. Number